Sagrika from Republish. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Chavi Kumari. I am currently pursuing my graduation from Delhi University, BCom, and I'm just done with my final exams. I'm really excited to do this podcast because this is the first time I'm getting interviewed, and this is a really amazing feeling. I have written the book called Healing Wings, for which I got a place in Editor's Choice, and yeah, that's about it.
Congratulations, Chavi, for winning the Editor's Choice Award in the Republish contest. Could you tell
Thank
us
you.
something about the book?
Okay, so when I got the opportunity to write a book, I really gave it a thought that what should I write about? Maybe it should be a romantic novel, or maybe it should be fiction or non-fiction. But then I thought that this is my first book I am writing. I have always been interested in writing poems and short stories, but this is the first book I am writing. So I thought this should be something which I really care about. And one thing which I really care about is how people treat women who are either divorced or who have suffered domestic violence and who are just different from their perspective of a suitable woman or a perfect woman. So I wrote about Meera, the character who's divorced and who has suffered a lot in her marriage. And now she's trying to find a peace in her life. And she's taking a route which is not very common and which is very frowned upon by people, which is therapy. So this is what I wrote about. And I feel that this is something I really care about, which is getting new experiences and being able to accept something that you're not familiar with. It's not necessary that we know everything, it's just something that we have to accept new things that are going around us.
Very well said. And as you said, therapy is really looked upon like it's something to be ashamed of, or like we call it in our language, pagal. It is such a taboo that people do not understand the
Exactly.
concept of how important it can be for somebody's life and somebody's mental health that can actually save lives. So coming to the character of Mira, how did what was the inspiration behind it?
Okay, so the name Meera was inspired by, of course, Meera. And the name Anirudh is also one of the name of Lord Krishna. So how Lord Krishna guides Meera or supports Meera in her journey. It's kind of similar. I'm not saying there are parallels between the both world, but it's kind of similarity I've drawn from that characters. And the character of Meera, I've wrote that she builds wall. She does not opens up when she meets you because she has been in that kind of toxic relationships, and she has been tortured enough, she has been shattered enough times to know that people don't deserve you. She builds wall around her so that no one can know who she really is. So that is Meera. But when Anirudh comforts her, when Anirudh makes her believe that there is still good in the world, then she believes him, and she approaches him with comfort. She approaches him with a friendly way that, he is there for her and he understands what she wants to say, what she is saying.
Okay, Chavi, coming to the writing process, what does your, normal writing process looks like? I mean, do you, first jot down the ideas that are coming to your mind and then reframe it while you're writing, or, you just go with the flow? How is it?
So this was, of course, my first time writing a novel. And to be very honest, I didn't knew a lot about how to start. So first I thought about the characters and how I want to build them. So first I wrote down about my characters and the things they would like or the way they will act in a normal situation or in daily life. Then there was the situation that is going around them, the storyline. So then I thought about the storyline of what I should be writing, because there are some things which are beyond my comfort level and which I do not enjoy reading or writing. So then I removed all those ideas. So my base was to write the characters first and their characteristics and their personalities. and after that build the story around them so that we can enhance the character and we can enjoy what the characters are trying to portray and what they are trying to say.
Pretty well said. And also, the characters has to be very, be able to be connected or relatable for the readers to, actually connect with the story. So
Exactly.
yeah, that is important. Coming to the writing process again, what would you say is the most hardest part of book writing? What would you say is the most favorite or the enjoyable part of book writing for you?
I think the enjoyable part for me is being able to tell the story you always want to tell, and the hard part is finding the right words to explain what you are feeling, because that is something I'm juggling with it right now also, because
Yes,
there are a lot of things that is going behind your brain, behind your mind, but to be able to express it in a real way that not only you but the person who is speaking to you or reading it is able to understand is very hard. I feel, there should be, how we are saying AI and everything, there should be an AI which should be able to grasp what I'm trying to say, you know
yeah.
like exactly the words. I know
Yes.
the words, but just they
Sometimes,
have to come out with the
when
right
we are
words.
okay, sometimes when we think it looks really intense and whatever, but when you're writing, it just doesn't feel the same like it felt in your mind. And you're looking for the words
Exactly.
to exactly express it as it was, but it just doesn't happen. Yes, that is one of the, I think, issues that writers face. So you told me that you have already, you've been writing poems and everything since the beginning. So, but writing short stories or poetry is a lot different than book writing. Book writing takes a lot of time, takes a lot of efforts. So, how would you compare both the two journeys? And what felt like more closer to you?
In book writing, I feel you get much more time to express your story compared to when you write short stories or a poem. In book writing, you have to let the reader walk through the journey of the book, through the journey of the characters and the storyline. So when I wrote this book and there was an 80-page limit, I'm like, how I'm going to write a book 80 pages long? This is not something I can do. I think in the middle of writing it, I was like, I am not going to be able to complete it. Just let it be. But then I wrote piece by piece every day, and thankfully I was able to complete it.
Somehow it
I was
beautifully
able to
came
complete.
together so well.
Yes, thankfully. And when I was writing it, I was like, but I have to explain the situation, because this is not a short story that you're just writing about what happened. You have to explain the situation like someone who is reading it feels like they are there. Whenever you read a book from a good author, you feel that you are there. You feel the intensity of the situation. Like when you read Harry Potter, you feel that, oh my God, Voldemort is scary. So I wanted that, and that was very excruciating and very painful process, kind of, where you have to explain every detail of what is going on, because in your head you have imagined everything, that this is happening and this is the situation, this is the lighting and everything, but you have to express all that in a book,
Yes, to
which
pen down
some
every thought in detail. Okay, my next question to you would be, what do you want your readers to take from this book? I mean, what message would you want your readers to take from this book?
to move forward. There are a lot of things in life that goes wrong, and there are things that you can't do anything about. There are things that happens in your life and you can't do anything about it, and you just have to realize that, okay, this has happened. I can either cry about it my entire life, or I can move forward and enjoy the rest of my life. Crying for a day, crying for a day or two, is it's fine. You deserve that. You deserve crying. Crying is not a bad thing. But after a point, you have to realize that this person or this situation doesn't controls my life. I control my life, and that's why I have to move on. I have to, walk further. So that's
Uh,
what I want to.
Very well said. And
That's I
also,
want.
healing journey is takes a long time to heal. You can't just expect yourself to heal in a day or two, but you also have to try to heal. Um, Coming back to the writing process, so there are a lot of people, who want to write a book, but they'll face some sort of like writer's block is there, procrastination is there, or you just don't get enough time or ideas to write the book. What do you think would you want to say to them, to motivate them to write books?
In this, I think Republish also portrays a really good part because whenever you start to write, whenever I even thought of writing a novel or a book, I thought, who's going to publish it? Who's going to publish my work? But when I realized that, oh my God, it is going to be published if I write it. So I feel that is a very good motivation for me. And also, don't write it because you think that somebody is going to read it. Write it because you want to express that story. That is my motivation.
I feel like, okay, being a best-selling author is actually an amazing thing to happen. And, we all want recognition if we are writers. However, to actually go to the point where you have completed an entire book is an achievement in itself, Clicking publish, while putting out a work of your own out there for people to see and, whatnot, is also a huge achievement in itself. So I think it is very underrated and not appreciated enough.
It is underrated, and also I feel it's kind of scary that you have written down your thoughts, and there are people out there who's going to read your thoughts, and
Yes,
then you feel like, oh my God, what are they going to think about it? They're going to like it or not?
right. So I one last question because I'm really curious about this. So you've written about a really intense topic which we all can relate to. Okay, we have all faced these kind of things. Could you tell us something that you've learned about yourself or about your life while writing this amazing piece? Like a realization that happens.
I think I realized the fact that this is something also about me. I don't generally move on from people or situation. I keep getting stuck on it. Even if a person don't like me, doesn't likes me, or if there's a situation where I feel that I have to move on, but I keep on, uh, being there, lingering around that person or around the situation until and unless they actually push me out of it. So I think I learned about myself that I have to give myself the power to move on, and not the other person that you have to push me out of it. Just I have to give myself the power to get out of my misery and be happy. And also about therapy. When I was writing about it, I have not myself, I've never been to therapy, but I researched a lot about it, that how a therapist will handle this or that situation, and I realized that it is very necessary. It's a very necessary thing to do. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling like tired all the time, if you're feeling like you don't want to talk to anyone, you don't even want to talk to yourself, then I think therapy is one thing which can help you to feel better. It is like a friend you need when you don't have one. So
Yes.
these are the things that I learned.
Very well said. And I think all of these things the readers also get to learn while reading your book. But also, this podcast has been very insightful and meaningful. And it also helps us understand a lot more about therapy and emotions in general. So, thank you so much for this amazing podcast. Thank you so much for talking to us. This was really great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.